How's it going, family? Powerful I am. 50 the Mystic. Today we're getting into Exodus 20, verse 9, expanding on the Sabbath. Now we're going into the days of labor. Exodus 20, verse 9. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. It literally continues the rhythm introduced in the Sabbath commandment. The 6 days represent the cycle of engagement with the material world, effort, and creative manifestation. Think of the days of creation, as I said. 7 days of creation. On the seventh day, you rest. Think about it. Labor is not merely physical work, but the shaping of reality, constructing identity, developing skill, managing relationships, and cultivating life. Each day symbolizes a phase of conscious action, where energy, focus, and attention are directed outward into the world of form. Work here is sacred because it mirrors the creative process of the divine, just as creation unfolded through 6 stages before rest. Human endeavor is meant to shape the material, emotional, and spiritual environment. Each act of labor is an opportunity to participate consciously in co creation. Neglecting this principle leads to stagnation, while misaligned labor, work done out of fear, compulsion, or ego, produces imbalance and internal dissonance. 6 days also symbolically reflect structure and order. The number 6 resonates with balance in action and mastery over material expression. It is the measure of active engagement necessary to establish foundation, rhythm, and discipline before turning inward into Sabbath rest. This teaches that action without pause is incomplete, just as pause without action is unproductive. The command underscores the interplay between effort and cessation. Labor is meaningful when it exists within a framework that includes both exertion and rest. This mirrors cycles in nature, day and night, tide and ebb, birth and death. Just as nature works in cycles, human life flows best when labor is purposeful and contained within conscious rhythm. This invites reflection on the sacredness of effort. Every act of labor carries symbolic weight. It shapes not just external reality, but the inner structure of the mind, energy, and identity. Purposeful work becomes a meditation, a reflection of divine order in action. And we look at it overall. It emphasizes the designed interplay between effort, focus, and bodily rhythm. Labor represents the outward projection and mental intention into action. The brain, body, and nervous system are wired for cycles of engagement and exertion. Just as the nervous system cannot remain in full sympathetic activation indefinitely, the body requires defined periods of active work to maintain neurological coherence, hormonal balance, and muscular integrity. The 6 day structure mirrors the natural pacing of attention and energy. When we direct focus deliberately for defined periods, the prefrontal cortex orchestrates planning, execution, and problem solving. Dopamine, acetylcholine support motivation, learning, and mastery. The body, through movement, exercise, and effort, channels these signals into growth, endurance, and skills development. Without structure, the mind becomes scattered, energy leaks, and habits lose coherence. Labor in this context is not simply physical toil, it is the coordinated output of mind, body, and will. Every deliberate action strengthens neural pathways that encode discipline, memory, and procedural skill. Conversely, unfocused or compulsive labor fractures attention, produces strength, and overloads the limbic system. The command implicitly teaches biocognitive optimization. Work with intensity, but within rhythm. Because the work aligns with the body's systems. Muscles, bones, and cardiovascular function adapt to repetitive, purposeful action. Hormonal rhythms stabilize with predictable cycles of exertion and recovery. Problem solving, creativity, and resilience are enhanced by structured activity. Mental clarity emerges when physical labor and cognitive engagement are harmonized. Therefore, it codifies the human architecture of productivity. Purposeful labor strengthens mind, body, and identity, teaches the intentional action framed by rhythm and order. It produces mastery, coherence, and long term vitality. Work is sacred when it integrates mental focus, bodily energy, and conscious intent. And look at it. Overall, it mirrors the universal principle of cycles again, energy flow, and the law of productive exertion. In nature, every system has phases of activity followed by pause. Rivers carve valleys but also refill. Trees grow leaves and shed them. The sun rises and sets in rhythm. 6 days of labor symbolizes alignment with the cosmic pattern. Action is natural, necessary, and most effective when it exists within a framework of cycles. Labor represents energy protection into form. The cosmos rewards directed, purposeful effort. Chaos and entropy are reduced when energy flows according to order and rhythm. Just as misaligned storms create destruction, misaligned labor, effort without structure, intensity without rhythm creates internal friction and external inefficiency. The 6 day structure teaches that the universe operates on disciplined pulses, action, impact, and return. The command also reflects the law of cause and effect. What is built with conscious effort yields results. What is neglected or performed chaotically produces instability. Cosmic law ensures that diligent aligned work compounds over time. Repetition within a structure amplifies impact. The verse, therefore, is not just a moral directive, it codifies the law of energy multiplication. Exertion plus rhythm equals productivity and abundance. Furthermore, 6 days illustrate balance. Too little labor yields stagnation. Too much without pause yields collapse. Nature shows that sustainable systems require both growth and rest, input and output, expansion and containment. Humans, as microcosms of creation, are subject to the same principle. Because this verse in itself teaches that purposeful action is sacred because it aligns with cosmic rhythm. Labor is not punishment or mere survival, it is a participation in the ordered flow of creation. Work with intention and your efforts resonate with natural law, producing stability, growth, and sustained abundance. Look at it this way. The scripture teaches the sacred rhythm of effort, literally in your daily life. 6 days of labor is a directive to structure work with intention, focus, and discipline. It emphasizes that productivity is not accidental. It requires deliberate engagement. Each day represents a cycle of focused action, where energy is invested in creating, building, learning, and sustaining life. Applied to modern life, this verse encourages you to define your work with clarity, avoid scattered energy, multitasking without purpose, or labor that drains without results. Instead, plan tasks, prioritize effort, and execute with mindful attention. Structured labor improves efficiency, sharpens decision making, and strengthens personal and professional skill set. The 6 day model also highlights the importance of sustainable effort. Work should be intense but balanced, leaving space for rest and reflection as commanded in the following Sabbath principle. Ignoring this rhythm leads to burnout, decreased creativity, and compromised well-being. Intentional cycles of exertion and pause protect both physical health and mental clarity. In relationships and personal growth, it teaches about consistency. Repeated, focused effort strengthens bonds, builds trust, and creates long-term results. Sporadic or haphazard effort yields weak connections and shallow outcomes. The verse underscores that discipline and action shapes character, environment, and destiny. Ultimately, this command reminds you that labor is a form of sacred participation in creation. Your work, when aligned with purpose and executed within rhythm, becomes a reflection of divine order. It turns survival into mastery, routine into ritual, and ordinary effort into legacy. 6 days of conscious labor, followed by Sabbath rest, ensures life is productive, balanced, and meaningful. Now, the next one, we'll be getting into a very long-winded verse in itself, showing how deep and far wide The rest really is. Exodus 20 verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. Find out where is the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates should be doing any work. We'll explore this very mystically and look at it from a different lens and see if we teach you something new here. Till next time, family, stay safe, stay blessed.